This is by far the smartest path to $10,000 a month and financial freedom in 2024. So peep game and lock in. In 2021, I found a business model that would completely change my life forever. And I would then go on to realize that this business model is by far the smartest and easiest path to $10,000 a month and also financial freedom. So I'm going to assume that you're watching this and you're not yet making that much money online, if any money online. And we're going to start at a very fundamental foundational level so that we can actually evaluate the best, smartest path for you, someone who's probably still working a job, to get to your first $10,000 a month online so you can transition out of that job and start living a life that you want to be living. Let's assume that you're currently working just a traditional 9 to 5. You're making about $20 an hour. And let's be generous and say you're working around 30 hours a week. This would mean that you're currently making $600 a week and $2,400 a month. So not only are you only 1/4 of the way towards $10,000 a month, but you're still in a job and you're still trading your time for money. There is a few issues with this. It means that your income is linked to your time, meaning that you never have time to actually focus on building real wealth through businesses and skills. And number two, we're obviously dealing with some serious inflation issues right now. And quite frankly, if the world keeps going in the direction it is and your income stays the same, your purchasing power is going down. People are realizing that their purchasing power is decreasing, and people are working super hard, but they're realizing that they just can't get ahead. They just can't make money. They cannot escape the rat race, and they get stuck in this endless hamster wheel, and they can never seem to get ahead. Regular people cannot even buy eggs and milk anymore. So how do you actually get ahead? How do you get out of this hamster wheel and be able to fully escape the rat race and this never ending cycle? That is exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. So first, understand the reason you're in this hamster wheel and you can't seem to get out is because you are paid in proportion to the difficulty of problems that you solve. If you're a burger flipper or a checkout chick, the problem that you are solving is not very difficult, thus meaning your value isn't very high, which means your income also isn't very high. Solve an easy problem, have low value, have a low income. So how do you increase the difficulty of the problems that you solve, thus increasing your value, thus increasing your income? You simply just learn skills that allow you to solve greater problems. This is the conclusion that I came to before I started making money online. And this is when everything started to click for me. I was working my construction job, doing something literally anyone could do. And then I sat there and I realized, why would I even get paid money? If anyone can do my job, why would I get paid? I need to, one, have a skill that not many people have, and two, be so good at that skill that I'm irreplaceable. Everything started to click in my mind, and that's when I decided I needed to learn a high income, high value skill which would set me apart from the average person. Now, from experience, I am telling you that this is by far the easiest and the fastest way to $10,000 a month, because you can't succeed in business without the necessary skills first anyway. But in the process of learning those skills, you can stack a bunch of cash and get to at least $10,000 a month, all while setting yourself up for success in business in the long term. The best high income skill that you can learn is sales, because every single business is selling something. SaaS sells software, SMMA sells a service, dropshipping sells a product, and the list goes on. With the ability to sell, you can make really good money in perpetuity. So in order to get to $10,000 a month as quickly and as effectively as possible, the first step needs to be learning how to sell and gaining the ability to sell. Now, there is a bunch of different sales jobs out there that you can learn. There's door-to-door, there's car sales, but I would honestly stay away from them, although you can get to 10K a month with them, because I don't want to be in the rat race. I want something that I can do from wherever and make good money. And there is only one job that's going to give you that freedom, and that is high-ticket remote sales. High-ticket remote sales is just selling expensive stuff, but you can sell it from anywhere because these are normally digital products that are sold online. In order to get started in high ticket sales, it's really simple. There's only two things you need. The first thing is your ability and your skill set. Are you able to sell, and are you good at selling? The second thing is just an offer. An offer is simply the product that you're going to sell. This needs to be good because you can't sell shit, and it's not going to allow you to make money if you're on a bad offer. However, the ability and your ability to sell should be the first thing that you're going to focus on, because without being a good salesperson and having good skills, you're not going to actually be able to get on a good offer in the first place. The better offer you can get on and the better your skill sets, the more sales you're going to make, the more money you're going to make. So how do you actually get good at sales? Well, you can get a normal sales job like door-to-door or car sales and start there. There's a lot of books that you can read, and there's a lot of content on YouTube like Jordan Belfort's sales trainings and different sales trainings that you can watch to try to learn the art of sales. However, the caveat to this is that at the end of the day, you can read, you can watch as many things as possible, right? But it doesn't matter, because nothing can actually get you good at sales but training and actually selling. How I personally learned sales is I invested in a mentor who had 10 plus years of experience in the space, and I learned directly from the source. So I could not only just soak up the knowledge and the experience and the information, but also all the connections that he had built in the space over the time. This not only made me really, really good at sales, but it also got me all the connections and networks that I would need to win. Like I said, you can do this on your own, but the chances you, as someone with no real experience or training, can go and get on a goldmine offer that's going to make them 6 figures a year is extremely low without network or without connections. Even if you do end up getting a sales role without experience and it's your first role and you've never sold before, you are probably going to get your ass kicked. Now let me explain why. You're going to burn bridges in the space by fumbling deals and get a reputation as someone who does not get hired. Landing a sales role without proper training or experience is like signing up yourself for a boxing or an MMA fight with no experience and having never stepped foot in a fight gym. What would happen if you just said, book me a fight for next month? I've never trained, I've never been in a gym, I've never had a coach. You would go in there against someone with experience and you would get whooped. And that's what it's like when you try to get on sales calls when you do not know what you're doing. You first need to find a coach, find a training group that you can actually sharpen your tools with. So when you do get on sales calls, you are able to close and you do know what you're doing. Okay, so now let's assume you either got training, you got some sales experience. Now you're confident enough to get your first offer. Now, as you try to get your first sales role, this is actually going to be your first sale because you now need to sell yourself to the business owner or the sales director as to why they should hire you and why you're a good fit for the company. I recently uploaded a video on exactly how you can find these companies and these opportunities. So also go check that out once you're done with this video. Now, once you actually find an opportunity and you close that offer and you get to work on it, you are going to be well and truly on your way to $10,000 a month already. And you will be able to basically leave your job straight away and transition into a completely remote sales role. And this is going to give you a completely newfound freedom as you will be able to basically work from anywhere and control your own schedule. However, something I see time and time again is people getting this freedom and getting complacent. As they now control everything that they do, they lack and they don't have a strict routine, and that is not what we want. Understand that no longer are you solving a simple problem. You are now solving a difficult issue and a difficult problem for a business owner. You, in sales, are going to eat what you kill. It's not like you have a comfy weekly paycheck anymore. Now, in order for you to get paid, you actually need to perform and you need to perform well. This will allow you to get to $10,000 a month if you do the work. However, now you can only take so many sales calls, meaning now you've escaped your 9 to 5. You can focus on this full time. However, there is still a cap because you can only take so many sales calls. And although your income and your hour is now worth a lot more, you can still only fit so many hours in. Your time, your income is still directly linked to the time that you have. We want to gain even more value and leverage so that you can get to that $10,000 a month consistently and scale beyond that exponentially. So how do we do this? There is something that catapulted my career forward exponentially and exploded my income. And it is something that you can actually do today or right now, and it is simply exactly what I am doing right now, which is creating content and building a personal brand. You see Eamon Gadzhi talk about SMMA, you see Tate talk about HU, you see a bunch of people talk about dropshipping, you see all these business models, but you make the mistake of doing what they tell you to do instead of looking and analyzing what they are actually doing. What is Eamon Gadzhi? What is Tate? What are all these people actually doing versus what are they telling you to do? What they are doing is posting content, building a personal brand, and selling their knowledge and information, and this is something that you can do yourself. The fact that you've seen these people means that they have had your attention. Eamon, for example, he barely made any money with his SMMA in comparison to what he made by building a personal brand and leveraging that to sell his information and his knowledge. But the difference between me and these other gurus that you're going to see online is I am not going to tell you sales is the be all and end all and you need to escape the puppet masters and the matrix by learning sales. No, because that is not true. It is the best path to get out of your job and get to 10K a month as quickly as possible. However, if you truly want to get financial freedom, you need to be posting content and you need to be building a personal brand, and that is the truth. You are watching me right now. I have your attention. We are in an attention economy where attention goes, money flows. You can use social media to detriment or positively impact your life, and you need to start using it to impact your life in a positive way. Yes, sales is the quickest and best path to $10,000 a month anyway, and you do need to start with it because if you do not start with sales, once you do have audience and you do have attention, you're not going to even be able to sell to that audience, because if you can't sell, you cannot make money. However, all these gurus you watch, including me, make money from our personal brand and from posting content. Having a strong personal brand gives you authority, gives you status, it gives you credibility, and lots of cash. So now that you know the two things that are going to get you to $10,000 a month and financial freedom, how do you actually build a personal brand? It is very simple. Simply look at the creators that you watch, look at the content they post, understand what they're doing and why it works, and do your version of that. A personal brand is personal. It is about you. So you can't just take other people's ideas, but you can see what they're doing and how that relates to them. Then you can do the same thing as it relates to you. So step one is finding someone to replicate. This is going to help you so much when it comes to finding things that work, learning why they work, and then using them to replicate and create your own success. The online space is getting very competitive, and the best way I've seen it described is, imagine you finished a long week and you're ready to blow off some steam, and you walk into a party, and when you get into the middle of the room, everyone stands and looks at you and starts shouting at you and competing for your attention. That is what the online space has looked like for too long. This is why people like Sam Sulek begin to appear, because when you're done a big week and you want to kick back, you're sick and tired of having all these people competing for your attention. So now, when you come on one of these platforms and you see someone where it looks like just a chill kickback with two of your homies, that actually attracts you more, because it's not someone yelling at your face competing for your attention. It's simply a place where you can go to relax and to gain value. Remember when I said find people to replicate? The caveat to this is you need to remember and ingrain one single word in your mind, and that word is authenticity. Like I said, as everyone's competing for your attention, fancy thumbnails, retention editing, all these things, the person who just feels like a kickback where you can just relax is going to be way more attractive when they're just being authentic and it feels like you're just speaking to your friend. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, no, Mr. Beast, because that isn't going to resonate with you. You know it is an act. You know I am trying to achieve something. If I sit here and I talk to you like you're one of my homies, then that's going to resonate more with you. So be authentic when you're creating your personal brand and learn how to be yourself on camera. It might take quite some time for you to get to that point, but once you do, you're going to resonate with your audience more, and everyone is going to resonate and trust you more. So step one is find what works, reverse engineer it, do it in your own way, and stay authentic. This could look like taking a hook or a framework from a video or a concept, but then re-engineering it to be authentically you. People are going to be able to feel through the camera if you're being scammy, or you're trying to sell them something, or you're being weird, or if you're playing a character. So it might take some time to get used to, but learn how to be yourself in front of the camera. Then it's simply just about posting short form content on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and being omnipresent. You need to be posting content on as many platforms, if not all of the platforms as possible, in order to maximize the size and the reach of your brand. Now, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram all have different algorithms. There'll be a video that gets 1 million views on TikTok and it gets 10 on Instagram, vice versa with all these different platforms. So how you get to understand these algorithms is spend some time scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, but consciously scrolling. Scroll on these platforms, find things that have over 100,000 likes, save them, study them, write down why the hook worked, write down why the concept worked, and write down anything visually that made you watch that video. These are the things that you can then take and you can build an understanding of each different algorithm and what works, so you know what to post on each platform. Study why these videos went viral. Was it their hook? Was it the concept? Was it the shareability? Instagram is the GOAT for personal branding because it has stories, which can basically become a daily TV show of your life to your audience. This is going to build a connection with your audience that is on a different level. When you have this, they begin to feel as though they know you and they know you personally, then they trust you, then they actually like you more. I would personally say the two most important platforms are YouTube and Instagram. YouTube for building trust, building credibility, and having people watch really, really long form content of yours. And then Instagram for building that closer relationship where people get to feel like they know you. If you can nail these two platforms, you will be able to feed and make a lot of money for the rest of your life. And you can do all this while working your sales job, making 10K a month and documenting your journey. Sam Sulek, all he does is document his day-to-day life. You can do the same thing. People want to hear your stories and they want to be able to watch your journey as you go. So document everything. Now you have the ability to sell, you will have an audience to sell to, and you will have gained your own information and knowledge in the process that you can sell to your audience, be it how to make good content, be it how to sell, be it something completely different if you wish. But now you will be able to sell to your audience and you will have an audience to sell to. And that is really all you need to set yourself up for a life of freedom. If you follow these steps correctly, you'll have all the skills, all the fundamentals, all the knowledge and the information in order to build a business, in order to succeed in business, and in order to fully achieve financial and locational freedom in 2024. This is by far the smartest path to $10,000 a month and beyond in 2024. Love.